Okay, welcome to my Blog Talk Radio program, Eternal Connection. Today we're going to be talking about pure focus. My name is Daniel Feint. You can find out more about my work and view some of my poetry or look on the profile page of Blog Talk to go to my site. Anyway, let's get into the topic. When the mind is quiet, when focus is centered, when intentions are allowed, when alignment is with God's creative essence, when each movement is categorized, when one steps back and observes as to redefine reality, there is pure focus. As I've been going through the day-to-day for a while now, I found that quieting my mind helps to either get into the zone of a creative way of life, or I can have the option of stepping back and observing the larger picture of life and redefine my focus and intent. Getting caught up in distractions may be normal, yet it is not the natural way to let life lead one out of their true desires. Contrast within the thoughts that surface help me to identify what is an absolute decision to head toward a certain direction. Split-second responses grounded in reality, yet with the eyes focused on God, there is a clear pathway to follow. The only way to be sure that things are going according to plan is if God is at the focus of everything and anything. The rest are details and secondary. I feel the presence of God. To feel the presence of God, filter out the thoughts that are serving the goal, that are not serving the goal, have an organized environment to burn away and whittle down the aspiration that is being unfolded into the world. Experiences can be consistent, as in consistently having growth and progression. When the pressure is too much, it merely means we are trying to do it on our own and have left God out of the equation. God has promised so many good things to us. The Bible is full of all the ways God wants us to have a fruitful, abundant life of ease and comfort. Any other kind of doctrine is corrupted by one that is not at the conscious level that Christ taught us to live by. The unseen is a world based purely on faith. It is a balance between the material and the spiritual, the finite and the infinite. What I do know is that it's an art form with a relationship that each individual has with God. This exposes when talk is cheap and the basic essence of the divine's nature is true. God knows our hearts. There is no place to run, no place to hide from God's view of our life. Yet I wouldn't have it any other way. The devil roams and prowls with attempts to make us doubt and not believe that God should be our ultimate focus. To think that we are doing it ourselves is only being self-defeating. Thinking we are not worthy is merely a way of throwing a subconscious temper tantrum. The unseen spiritual connection between oneself and God needs to be the first and only focus in life. The details of the physical world are very minor and will only hinder what God, the creator of all things, our soul, this world, and anything else there is, can do in a miraculous and blessed way in our life. So basically, it's about 3.5 minutes worth of explanation. I just feel that in my environment, in my home, I want to have things, and I feel that I do have things in an organized and precise fashion that it opens up options within options. Say, for example, my entire apartment is spotless except for my laptop, yet the laptop is full of options, whether it be offline or online. I've been finding that if I quiet my mind, what I do say is better received, and it's not just a miscellaneous stream of consciousness. So to get back to focus, you sometimes have to let the muddy water settle so you can see through it again. I feel that things are going well. I'm going to continue this and see how it progresses. I don't want to be too rigid in my thinking because it's the rigid that will break and it's the flexible that will bend. It's the natural currents of life and the wind that fills the sails of natural progression and enjoyment and the way that God wants us to live in this life as I see it. This is only my perspective. You're more than welcome to have your own perception on this. I'm just putting this out here to encourage or maybe challenge your thinking. I've taken on other people's teachings and audios and what they have to say and challenged it with my own beliefs to find the contrast of what I truly want. The idea of having a grain of sand in a clam is what makes the pearl. It's the irritant that offers the contrast to make something very valuable once a direction with that irritant is established and that we know where we're going with it. So the other thing I wanted to mention was that if you have a focus in life, and if it's important to you, just keep that focus remaining, regardless of what kind of thoughts come in. If you're not hurting anybody and you're not hurting yourself, there's got to be something to it then, if it keeps on arriving in your mind. And only time will tell what will happen. But if you have a way of approaching things with integrity, if you have a way of approaching things with a consistent nature, there's no way that it won't work out. It may not be within our timing. Patience is a key to success. It's a key to what is truly worthwhile. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I want something that I could get now, I would go after it. I want a cup of coffee, I'll go to the coffee maker and brew some or pour some if it's already brewed. I just want to be able to assemble things the best I can with the menu that life has, or the ingredients, the ideas of the choices or decisions, the thoughts, the emotions, the interacting with the physical world, interacting with other people, how I talk to myself, how I talk to others, whether I'm creating in an acting fashion or if I'm reacting and just buying into somebody else's story and what's important to them. If I'm in a situation or an experience with somebody, I don't have to, within the physical realm, interact in any other way than what I feel is the right way to go about it. So if I am struggling in my mind with thoughts that aren't pleasing or would make things worse, I'm going to let them do their thing in my mind, but that's a sacred place where the spiritual battle sometimes rages, where the devil wants us to take things personally, or to want to have revenge, or to blame or judge. As I see it, if it's of a loving nature and kind nature, then it's of God. If it is something beyond what I can comprehend, as a way of peace that I could never figure out on my own, because as soon as I start to figure it out, that's when I get lost from that peace. So I guess don't know, I'm just kind of free-flowing with this. We're about 9.5 minutes into the recording. Hopefully I'll record another, say, 3 minutes. And so today we're talking about focus, pure focus, the idea of God being at that focus in order for our intentions and our desires and our goals and aspirations to come into form. Don't be afraid to ask for things, but at the same time, be careful what you wish for. Let's see. I guess that's about all for now. I was going to record for another 2 minutes, but I think I'm going to just stop recording soon. I appreciate you listening to this if you've been listening so far. I know that I said things a little bit quicker in the first part of the audio, and that was because I was reading from notes. So if you want to re-listen to it, you're more than welcome to. But the basic gist of it is, I'm just suggesting, because what it's working for my life is when I put God at the forefront of everything, things just get better. I feel more calm and at peace. I understand the details that come second, the relationships that come second to God. As long as I hold that focus, all the other things aren't lost. They're just revealed in a different light. So I'll leave it at that. Take good care, and until next time, goodbye.